And best the contestants on the latest Survivor Island? Meet him coming up.
And snow.
Kansans. Can a KCK native take home the big $1 million prize? The story coming up. Well, Cole is the survival contestant in our area who is trying to outwit, outplay, and outlast all others on the island of Fiji. Saray Chin has the story.
Among the 19 survivors fighting it out on the island of Fiji for $1 million is a KCK native, 35-year-old Earl Cole.
I'm the guy that say, you can do it. I'm that guy. I want to make my mother proud.
Something Earl doesn't have to worry about.
I've called from the East Coast to the West Coast, from north to south. I've called everywhere.
We caught up with Earl's mother and two older sisters who still live in KCK.
He's just a real unique type of person, and I always thought he was going to do something great.
Earl grew up in this KCK neighborhood, and this is his childhood home where his parents still live. Now, most of us can say we grew up with some challenges, but Earl overcame something that most of us have never had to deal with.
He had a disease when he was younger that fortunately he outgrew, but it still impacts him somewhat.
Earl was diagnosed with a rare and somewhat debilitating childhood disease called leg perthes. Blood stops flowing to the hip joint and the bone deteriorates. Earl had to wear an A-frame cast attached at the ankles.
At 9 years old, he was a survivor.
And creative.
And they thought he'll never be able to get up and down the steps. Well, guess what? Earl was able to get up and down the steps.
Earl would later climb his way to the top of the class at one of the best high schools in Kansas City. He went to Sumner Academy for Arts and Science for gifted students. He was the lead sax player in jazz band. He's also proficient on the piano. He's composed music for TV and movies. He's also an artist. Today, he lives in Santa Monica as a senior advertising exec.
If he utilizes everything that he has utilized up till today, he will be the next survivor.
Of an unnamed island.
Go Earl!
I'm glad we came up here.
I'm Saray Chin for KCTV 5 News.
And we'll have much more on Survivor's Kansas connection coming up in a special report tonight at 10, following the premiere of Survivor Fiji at 7 and CSI then at 8 o'clock.
And
go
what
Earl.
Fun. We have someone new to root for. Oh, yeah, go Earl.
Oh, cool. Well, that wraps up this edition of Prize.
Up next, you'll meet the latest Survivor hopeful with ties to KC.
And later in sports,
Native Earl Cole be the next Danny Boatwright.
Cole is among the 19 survivors fighting it out on the island of Fiji for the chance to pocket $1 million. The 35-year-old grew up in KCK, and his family still lives here. When he was younger, Cole was diagnosed with a debilitating childhood disease that forced him to wear casts on his legs. But he overcame that challenge and climbed his way to the top of his class at one of the best high schools in Kansas City.
I'm the guy that say, you can do it. I'm that guy.
He's just a real unique type of person, and I always thought he was going to do something great.
I want to make my mother proud.
I think he already has. Today, Cole lives in Santa Monica as a senior advertising executive. He's also an artist and has composed music for TV and movies.
Now, from